Oftentimes, I ask business owners, how much is it costing you to do business the way you do business? And the usual response that I get back is, well, Leo, I have no staff. I do the job myself. I do no marketing, and I keep my costs as low as possible. And they generally say that as a good thing because you're not spending money on marketing, they're not spending money on salespeople, they're not spending money on staff, they're not spending money on social media, they're not spending money doing anything, right? Then 20 years go by and they're still working with their hands. And they still don't see the question that I'm trying to ask. I've been connected with lots of people on LinkedIn for almost 20 years now, and we keep having the same type of conversation. They're seeing my videos. At first, they were starting to see the articles that I've written, and they still don't understand. As an example, statistics show that it generally takes a general contractor 20 to 40 years to get to $20 million. 20 to 40 years. That's because everybody's doing it by trial and error or the learning curve. The learning curve is probably the most expensive way to learn how to do something. But in our 39-year history, all we've been doing is analyzing businesses, and we've analyzed thousands upon thousands of different businesses in the construction, automotive, entertainment, hospitality industries. We've worked on 7 different franchise concepts from scratch. And what we find is you have general contractors who are successful, who can get to 15 or 20 million very quickly, and others will take 20 to 40 years to get there. And yet it's generally the second generation or the third generation that can get it to $20 million. Then when we start comparing the two different companies, what's the successful company doing that the unsuccessful guy or less successful company is doing? And yet they're doing the same products. They're doing the same kitchens, the same bathrooms, the same flooring, the same additions, the same, and so on. So when you start comparing them, you'll find that there are 33 tools that make successful companies that the unsuccessful companies are not using. So when you give the tools to the company who is working with their hands, they can generally get to 20 million in 3 to 7 years, not 20 to 40. So if you could get your company to 20 million in 3 to 7 years and not 20 to 40, what is it costing you to do business the way you're doing business? If you've been in business for 20 years and you're still under $1 million, when really you should be at the 5, 7, 10, or 20 million range, what is it costing you? An intelligent person would say, well, I should be at 5 or 10 or 15. So it's costing you the difference between 1 and 15. So it's costing you 15 or $14 million a year to do business the way you're doing business. So if you're not spending money on marketing, what is it costing you? If you're not hiring employees, what is it costing you? The simple answer is it's costing you $15 million of unearned revenue. If you're making 10%, that's $150,000 a year you're not earning because you're working with your hands. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So by saving money, what is it costing you? It's costing you $15 million or $150,000 in net profit. And a lot of people will say, well, Leo, you got to understand, I can't find quality people. I can't find, quality trades. I can't find, people that can do marketing for me. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, that's the equivalent of going to a homeless person and asking for financial advice, right? Are you asking the right people? Do you have the right advisors? And every time I ask, well, do you have anyone advising you? Yeah, I've got tons of people. I've got tons of successful business owners who can help me. Well, how are they helping you? If they're not looking at your financials on a daily basis, if they're not spending 8 or 40 hours a week with you, following you around to see what you're doing well and what you're doing that could be improved upon, they're not advisors. If they're, if you ask a question, you say, well, I would do this, this, and this, but how are they understanding, how are they understanding what your day-to-day life is? Because we always believe we do A, but we're actually doing B. We always think we're great leaders with our people, and every time we do an analysis of business, very rarely do we communicate well with our employees. Are you giving them daily goals? Are they accomplishing it? Do they understand what their job description is? Do they have a job description? And all those factors contribute to the fact that you're only doing $1 million. A business blueprint, an aggressive marketing system, the other 33 tools that you need in your business, if it's not present, I mean, okay, let me try it from a different direction. Would you dare start building a custom home without a blueprint? Would you dare start building a custom home without any tools on the job site? You're looking at me and you're saying, well, that's ridiculous. Of course you wouldn't. Then why does it make sense to start a company with no blueprint for the company? Why does it make sense to start a company without tools for the business side of the business, right? If it makes no sense trying to build a house without tools, why does it make sense to build a house without business tools? I hope I'm reaching you, and I'm hoping I'm getting you to ask questions. I would love to hear your questions on the comments below. If you want some free advice, if you want some help to get started, if you need some momentum on your train, I would love to help. Post your comments below. Let's talk soon. Thank you.